Let's kick things off with the big question. Why does practicing English every day make such a difference? People always talk about it, but what's really at stake if you skip practice for a week or two?
Honestly, missing a few days makes more of an impact than people realize. Consistency is how your brain gets used to hearing and forming those sounds. It's like exercise, you wouldn't expect results from a single workout, right?
That's such a good point. I notice when I don't speak a language for a while, my brain just seems to stall. Does it really work the same for everyone learning English? Or are there exceptions?
Most learners experience that slowdown if they take breaks, especially in the early stages. The more you practice, even in tiny doses, the faster your recall becomes automatic. That's why daily is so powerful.
I think the hardest part for most people isn't motivation, it's just squeezing practice into busy days. How do you help learners find time for English when their schedules are packed?
That's a real struggle for so many. What works best is weaving English into things you already do, like listening to short podcasts while commuting or talking to yourself while making coffee. It doesn't have to be formal study.
That reminds me, I once had a student who labeled everything in her kitchen with English words. It was simple, but it kept her thinking in English even without extra time set aside.
Exactly. Those micro moments add up. Even 5 minutes of intentional practice every day can help you improve way more than cramming once a week.
Funny how you mentioned practicing daily even if it's just talking to yourself. So many people are terrified of making mistakes though. How do you help students get past that?
Honestly, the fear of mistakes is a huge barrier. I usually remind people that mistakes are proof you're trying. Even native speakers mess up words sometimes, so why should learners expect perfection?
I love that. It's almost like you need to reframe mistakes as little victories because you're actually stretching your skills.
Absolutely. Each slip-up is a chance to learn something new. Plus, most people are way too worried about errors. Listeners usually just care that you're communicating.
Since we're talking about tiny doses of practice, could you share a few easy speaking activities people can use every day, especially for folks who might not have a conversation partner handy?
Sure, one of my favorites is narrating your daily routine aloud. Just describe what you're doing, even if it's mundane. For example, I am brushing my teeth now. It reinforces vocabulary and sentence structure.
That's such a practical tip. Sometimes I recommend people record themselves speaking. Phone voice memos work great. It can be eye-opening to hear your own pronunciation.
Recording is brilliant because you catch things you wouldn't otherwise notice. Plus, it's a private, zero-pressure way to practice.
After hearing all that, I'm curious, how much do you think technology helps with daily English speaking practice? Are there apps or tools you swear by?
Technology's a game changer now. There are speaking apps that let you practice pronunciation or even have conversations with AI tutors. Plus, video calls have made it so much easier to connect with language partners worldwide.
Totally. Last week we got stuck on a tricky pronunciation, and one of those pronunciation apps gave instant feedback. It's almost like having a mini coach in your pocket.
And you can use them anytime, anywhere, which is perfect for daily practice. Even 5 minutes on your phone during a lunch break adds up over time.
Speaking of language partners, people always ask, where do you actually find someone to talk to? Not everyone has English-speaking friends or family.
That's a really common concern. Language exchange websites are goldmine. Sites like Conversation Exchange or Tandem connect you with people who want to practice too. And don't forget about community events or meetups in your city.
It's so true. I've seen students form little study groups on WhatsApp or Discord too, and they end up motivating each other. Sometimes it's easier to speak up with peers than with native speakers.
Exactly. Those supportive communities make you feel less alone in the process. Even just joining an online book club or discussion group can push you to use English more naturally.
What surprised me most is how learners often hit a plateau after making quick progress. One day you feel unstoppable. The next is like running in place. How do you help people push through those phases?
Plateaus are super common, and honestly, they can be discouraging. I encourage learners to change things up, try new topics, different podcasts, or even silly tongue twisters. Variety can re-energize your routine.
Mixing it up definitely keeps things interesting. Sometimes just switching from textbook exercises to real-world conversation makes everything feel fresh again.
Exactly, and setting little goals like learning 5 new phrases a week makes progress more visible. Small wins add up, and that builds motivation to keep going.
That brings us to something I wish more people talked about: tracking your progress. How do your students see their own improvements with daily English practice?
A lot of learners keep journals or record themselves monthly. It's so rewarding to look back and see how much more confidently they speak after a few months. Even noticing fewer pauses is a big win.
I had a student who celebrated after finally ordering a coffee in English without freezing up. Sometimes those little real-life victories are the best proof of growth.
Yes, celebrating those moments keeps the journey fun, not just a checklist. Give yourself credit for every step forward, no matter how small.
Last week, we got a question from a listener who felt totally burned out. It had just become too much. What would you say to someone feeling that frustration with daily English practice?
That's tough. And honestly, it happens to everyone now and then. My advice is to take a short break or try something different, like watching a movie in English instead of drilling grammar. Fun helps you reset.
I'm glad you said that. Sometimes just switching gears, like playing a word game or listening to a song, can actually reignite your interest without feeling like study.
Exactly. Giving yourself permission to rest and enjoy English in new ways can make coming back to daily practice much more enjoyable.
All right, as we wrap up, what's your top tip for someone who wants to make daily English speaking a habit that actually sticks?
Start small and make it fun. Pick something you like, maybe chatting about your favorite show or narrating your morning routine. The more enjoyable it is, the less it feels like a chore.
I love that approach. It's all about ease and enjoyment, not guilt or pressure. We remember to brush our teeth because it's routine, not because we dread it.
Exactly. Make English a natural part of your day, and soon it'll feel as automatic as brushing your teeth. Progress will come, one day at a time.